अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाजरीन, वेलकम टू अनदर सेशन ऑफ इंडस्ट्री डायलॉग। आज हमारे जो गेस्ट हैं, हिज नेम इज़ डॉक्टर इरफान मलिक, who is the member of Australian Dental Association, also graduate certificate in clinical dentistry from Melbourne University. इन्होंने मिनी मास्टर्स भी किया हुआ है ऑर्थोडोंटिक्स में, एंड ही इज़ करंटली वर्किंग इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया एज अ प्राइवेट प्रैक्टिशनर. Dr. Saab is also a very good childhood friend, and he's also worked in FM 100 for about 9 years as a presenter. Welcome to the show, Dr. Saab.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Omer.
डॉक्टर साहब, मेरा पहला सवाल आपसे ये है कि एज़ फार एज़ आई रिमेंबर यू स्टार्टेड ऑफ विद इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी, और आपने उसमें बैचलर स्टार्ट किया था, एंड देन यू डिड योर बैचलर्स इन डेंटिस्ट्री, एंड दिस सडन शिफ्ट आई स्टिल रिमेंबर कि आपने एकदम से अपनी फील्ड भी चेंज की, एंड यू लेफ्ट द होल आईटी थिंग एंड यू शिफ्टेड टुवर्ड्स डेंटिस्ट्री. सो पहले तो ये बताएं कि व्हाई डिड यू चेंज योर फील्ड लाइक दैट?
Yes. What happened is when I did my FSc and I did my FSc in pre-medical, and after doing that, everyone was going towards IT, or then I decided that I should go towards IT as well because the whole world is going there, and that's where the future is. But even when I was in grade 8, my father said you should become a dentist because my brother was a medical doctor, and his life was quite busy with night shifts and everything. So my father suggested that you should become a dentist. At least you'll not have night shifts and things like that. But when I did my FSc, then I thought everyone's going towards IT. I will go to IT, and I got admission in Hamdard University, and I started studying. Even though I did my FSc with pre-medical, I had no idea about mathematics. And when I started studying, then there was linear algebra, calculus, and that was going way above my head, and I couldn't make what's going on there. So I spent some time there, and then I realized that this is not my piece of cake. So I will go and look for something else. And my father at that time just reminded me, why don't you go back to dentistry? I said, okay, let's try dentistry. So that's when I made my way towards a dental school. And होता है ना कि when you go in somewhere and something clicks, and that's exactly what happened. That from day one, I realized, oh, that's something which is really, I feel easy, and it's really something I want to do. So that is what I did dentistry, and it became a passion for me afterwards. And that's what I believe that, and from day one, I got a vibe that this is something which is made for me. So that's how I landed up in dental school, and then I did my dentistry, and now that's what I say. It's not a profession; it's a passion. And if you have got passion for something, you don't get tired, and I don't get tired doing dentistry now.
Passion has always been in your genes, I guess, Dr. Saab, because I remember that you used to have such a tough routine, and you
Yes,
used to manage so many things at the same time. And it was always your passion which kept you moving in FM
true,
100 as a presenter, and also
true.
it was your passion that made you work as, I believe, an internee. First, you started off as an internee in the dental school in Islamabad, and then we used to have our squash sessions as well. So, passion was definitely moving
Exactly.
you
And
ahead.
I believe, going back on those days, but what I believe is that everything is whatever you do is preparing you for something bigger in that. And even doing radio and being in the media at that time was something which was preparing my communication skills. And that those communication skills are now helping me to communicate to my patients. So everything is that goes on in your life. I think that's where it comes down to. I was listening to one of Steve Jobs' lecture, and his theory of connecting the dots, and that's what I think it clicked me. Yes, it is connecting the dots. So whatever happens to you, you connect the dot, and sometimes it goes. And those days when I was doing radio presentation and everything, and that developed my communication skills. And now those communication skills are helping me to become a better dentist. So, and it was a passion at that time as well. When I was doing radio, it was really enjoyable. I was studying at the same time. So it used to be from 8 to 2, it was my hospital and college time. From 2 to 3 or 4, we used to play squash. And from five to eight, I had show at the radio. So that was my daily routine, 5 6 days a week. So that was the routine that I used to follow. But it was really good. Sweet memories. Time passes by, and we just create sweet memories, and they still. We look back at them and cherish them, and those are really great times. But that's what I believe, that everything happens in your life for a reason, and at that time you don't understand, but down the track when you look back, you feel that that was the reason. And when I look back at my radio career, it was something which enhanced my communication skills, which is helping me in my professional life now as well.
Sweet memories indeed, Dr. Saab, and time really flies. When we look back, it's been a while since those days,
Yes,
and
sure.
you've come a far way, mashallah, and I hope that you go furthermore. Okay, now a very important question, which is, I think, probably the fundamental misconception amongst lots of people, and that is this: that the dental treatments, they are very expensive, and at the same time they are painful. So, what do you say about that?
Again, that's again, the thing is that that's what I tell my patients as well. That yeah, because dentistry is not expensive, neglect is. Because across the world, there is this thing that dentistry is very expensive. Even here in Australia, a lot of people say it's very expensive. And each country, wherever you go, even in Pakistan, from a Pakistan's perspective, dentistry is quite expensive. If you go to a good clinic in Pakistan, it is expensive there as well. But it's much more expensive here in Australia when people compare it with other parts of the world. But dentistry is expensive across the world. And the reason for that is the overhead costs and everything associated with it. The materials, because it's not only one person, it's a team of people working together. The materials, the equipment, everything costs. So that's why dentistry is expensive across the world. And that's what I tell my patients as well, that dentistry is not expensive, neglect is. And on the flip side, I say dentistry is not painful, neglect is. So that is what the philosophy is. Because the thing is that unfortunately, a lot of people don't have uh, a habit of going to a dentist. Being in our like in our culture as well, we don't visit a dentist unless there's a severe toothache. So when we have a severe toothache, then that's the only time we go to a dentist because there is a problem. But the thing is that if you go before the problem occurs, it is going to be less painful, it's going to be less expensive on your pocket, and it's going to resolve, and you can maintain your teeth really well for the rest of your life. Teeth are tools for your life. So if nature has, yeah, what you need to understand is that Allah Ta'ala Allah Ta'ala has made our human body, it is perfect human body. Okay? Allah Ta'ala has given us two sets of teeth. And there's a reason for that. When we are young, we cannot take care of our teeth and we eat all the chocolates and lollies in the world. Allah Ta'ala replaces those teeth when we are around 10, 12 years age. Then we get a second set of teeth. And that's when we have to take care of those teeth. If we take care of those, and I can tell you with my experience that if we take care of our teeth, if we maintain them well, then they will last us for lifelong. And you will not need any dental work to be done. Let me tell you, I don't have any filling in my teeth. Okay? The only time I have to visit a dentist is for get a clean done. Okay? The thing is, if you maintain, it's just like getting a new car. If you get a new car and you say, okay, I've spent X amount of dollars on it, I don't want to go back to the mechanic to get it serviced. Even an expensive car will break down if you don't get it serviced. That's exactly what's with teeth as well. That if you don't get them serviced, if you don't get them checked, if you don't get the dentist every 6 months, you will have problems with your teeth. And sometimes those problems, depending on your hygiene habits, because what we recommend is brushing twice a day flossing at least once a day, because the two things which are very, very important, and obviously your diet. If you're eating refined carbohydrates, if you're eating a lot of sugary stuff, you're more prone to have dental problems as compared to if you're eating natural food like fruits, vegetables, and things like that, you're less prone to have dental problems. So these are all the factors that play a role. Genetics is another factor. Some people who have got good saliva and they're lucky, they don't get dental decay. So that is separate. But the thing is, it's how well you take care of your teeth, how well you maintain them. That's what the main thing is, how well you, and the most important thing is that you should go to a good dentist every 6 months to get a checkup done. And because the thing that people need to understand is that when you go to a dentist, it's not only just a general checkup of your teeth. First thing I do, I don't look at the teeth. I do an oral cancer examination. So the first thing I do when I look into someone's mouth, I do an oral cancer examination, oral cancer screening, because a lot of cancers go undiagnosed and they are detected at a very late stage. So, as an oral health practitioner, as a dentist, I look at the teeth later, because when you start looking at the teeth first, you miss the other things. So, the first thing I do is oral cancer screening. So, if I can pick up someone's oral cancer at a very early stage, that has a very good prognosis and cure as compared to if the cancer is picked up at a very late stage. So, that is another important aspect of going to a dentist. So, what I think is most important is we need to create a habit or in our lives to go to a dentist even if we don't have a problem, because if you have a problem, then it is a big thing. For example, if you've got excruciating pain in your tooth, then obviously either you'll need a root canal or the tooth needs to be taken out. So, but if you maintain your teeth well, if you brush your teeth twice a day for 2 minutes, floss your teeth, and go to a dentist and maintain good oral hygiene and good diet. Mind you, diet is the most important part as well. Maintain good diet, you should be fine for the rest of your life for the teeth are concerned. But I know it's easier said than done.
So basically, Dr. Saab, what you're saying is that prevention is better than cure. Okay, my next question would be that what about this widely spread misinformation, or in some cases, what we can say is like campaigns through certain companies that the toothpaste with fluoride as one of its major ingredients is harmful for your teeth? While when we talk about prevention, fluoride used to be considered as vital ingredient for the health and well-being of our teeth. What do you want to say about that?
Fluoride is like what you need to understand is that fluoride is in our toothpaste. Fluoride is added in water. Fluoride is even in tea bags. Okay? So fluoride is a component that is added 1 part per million in water. So it's a very small amount of fluoride that's added in drinking water. And then it is there are two types of toothpaste: adult toothpaste and children toothpaste. So adult has 1,000 part per million, and children have 500. So it's a very small amount of fluoride which is in the toothpaste as well. Fluoride is basically, before the fluoride was introduced in water and things like that, there was a high incidence of dental caries, dental decay, holes in the teeth. So once, because people were not exposed to fluoride, because fluoride is basically a component that goes in and sits around the teeth and make it strong tooth and prevents the tooth from getting any holes. So when there was no water fluoridation, there was a high incidence of dental decay. When in 1980s and later, they started doing water fluoridation, that's when the amount of dental decay decreased quite a lot. So fluoride is good. There's a lot of misconceptions. Yes, a lot of people say fluoride is not good for you. Fluoride is a poison. Yes, if you ingest a whole toothpaste in one go, it is a poison. But obviously, you're not using that much fluoride, that much toothpaste every day. So it's just a pea size of toothpaste on your toothbrush. You brush your teeth thoroughly. After brushing, spit out the toothpaste as much as you can. Do not rinse your mouth. So that is what the recommendation is. So that extra fluoride stays in your mouth and helps to make your teeth stronger against decay.
So basically, fluoride is good for our teeth as long as it is used in limited quantities. Moving on to the next question. Dr. Saab, as you know that there have been a lot of advancements, new and modern methods are introduced into the dental world. And it's also claimed that these new treatments are painless, at times pain-free. So what's your take on this?
Dentistry is pain-free. This is a wrong concept that when you go to a dentist has to inflict pain. Nowadays, dentistry is pain-free. If you're going to, again, I would say, if you're going to a good dentist, dentistry is pain-free. There's no pain involved in dentistry. In any procedure, whatever procedure you do is pain-free procedure. It's just your dentist should know how to manage it. That's what it comes down to. So there's no concept of pain in dentistry. Again, I'll come to the same thing that I said before. Dentistry is pain-free, but neglect is not. So then it is a different story. But dentistry in general, I would say, is pain-free. In terms of latest technology, there's a lot of things going on. From Invisalign, implants. Now there's a research in stem cells, and they can grow a tooth. So they can grow a tooth. So that is the latest one. It's still in research at the moment, but stem cells, they're working on stem cells to grow tooth as well. So those are all the things that are there. But nowadays, implants to replace your missing teeth is one of the state-of-the-art technology. And obviously, all digital technology is there. Now, in old days, we used to take impressions and molds of your teeth to make things. But nowadays, it's a digital scan. You don't need to take any impressions. So you just take a digital scan, and it is electronically, digitally sent to the lab, and lab makes whatever the crown or splint or anything that needs to be made and sends it back. So there's no physical thing going to the lab as a replica of your mouth to make things. That's the latest as well, that we use digital scans now to even in implant planning. There is, when we plan the implant, we do a CT scan, and according to CT scan, we know exactly how much bone is there, what is the millimeter diameter of the bone is there, where is the nerve sitting in even micromillimeters, that this is a distance that we can play around with. So all these technologies have made life simple. Now we can plan an implant through a computer planning, and we can make a stent through which we can drill in and place an implant very, very atraumatically as well. So these are all the latest things that are going on at the moment. And I recently went to States and Guatemala to do an advanced implant training as well. So all the sinus lifts and things like that. So those are all the things which are, I reckon, quite common now. Implants is quite common now across the world, but obviously these are all the digital flow of the work around implant as well, which is being done now.
Yes, indeed. Technology is enabling every sector, and healthcare being the most vital ones in the list. Okay, moving to our last question, Dr. Saab. What advice do you have for people who are anxious or fearful about visiting the dentist, including me, because I feel that trip to the dentist is a very scary thought, and you know that very well. So what do you say to those kind of people who are reluctant and who feel that a trip to the dentist is a fear of the unknown, probably?
The thing is that what you need to understand is that there's always a fear of unknown. That is the biggest fear that we have. What's going to happen when I go there? That's a fear of unknown. There are two things that you can do. Number one is that obviously you, as I said, make a habit of going to a dentist every 6 months. That's going to do two things. First, it will give you confidence that you can go to a dental office. You're familiar with the environment. You're familiar with the office, because when you go for the first time and you're in pain, everything is new for you. The office is new. The person you're meeting is for the first time, and you're in pain as well. Everything has negative effects on you. So if you've been going to a dentist for a long time, are familiar with the environment, you're familiar with the person, you already know the person, you develop the trust in that person, you've developed a relationship with that person, and you're not meeting a stranger in a painful, when you've got a severe pain in the tooth, you're not meeting a stranger. Obviously, these all things add up to the stress, because it's not only going to a dentist, if you're going for the first time, you're going to a new place, you're meeting a new stranger, and who is going to sit very close to you and work in your mouth. So it is quite, and plus you are in a when you're lying down in the chair, in a dental chair, you're not in a very dominating position. Someone is sitting and working in your mouth, and they are in a dominating position. And that is what makes all the stress and what makes it tough. So it comes back to the basics, that you need to start going to a dentist when you're not in pain and start building that relationship. Once you have that relationship and trust, it will make things much more easier. And when you develop, because we can't guarantee you'll not have pain. Obviously, you at some point of your life, you will end up with pain in the tooth. And at that time, when you've got a list, you go to the dentist and he'll be able to help you. And you've already developed a rapport, and you'll not be finding a dentist for the first time when you're in pain. So those are all the things that add up. So in coming back to your question, it's just that you develop a habit now instead of waiting till you get the pain in your tooth. So you develop the habit now, go to your dentist, if you don't find one, the one way to find good dentists is Google reviews nowadays. A lot of people leave good Google reviews about good clinics. So you can find a good dentist, start visiting them every 6 months, and build a rapport, build a relationship, build a trust between you and the dentist. And then if, God forbid, you get in that position where you've got a toothache, it will be less stressful, it will be more manageable, and you'll be able to get through that phase very easily.
Thank you very much, Irfan, for taking out time today and joining us. It was indeed an insightful and informative discussion with you today.
It was a pleasure.
And I hope that our viewers are going to learn a lot of things about the dental world and different treatments which are being carried out there. Thank you so much for joining me today.
No, thank you very much. Thank you. Take care.